What's up, everyone? How's it going? Just so you know, this is a spoiler-full review for Crisis on Infinite Earths Part 3. And now that's done, let's go into it. Whoa, so, wow, yeah, episode 3 was definitely the best of the 3 so far. This was really good. Holy shit. First thing I'm gonna mention is my probably the not favorite part, but the like yes, awesome moment was seeing Earth 666. As soon as I saw that, I was like, oh fuck yeah. I knew they were doing it. I was surprised, actually, really surprised seeing Lucifer show up and dealing with Constantine, which I was glad I've wanted that kind of idea for a while. I think it was definitely really cool. I'm definitely wondering what Constantine did to help Lucifer with Maze, though. Maybe they'll mention it on the Lucifer show when it restarts again. I'm actually really surprised that WB was able to make a contract, get something to work with Netflix, to be able to allow him into this into the world. So that's definitely unique, but I like it. It was definitely fun. So I just wanted to say that first before getting into anything else. This I really like this one, even though it wasn't so much like fighting and punching and action and stuff like that, kind of like in the first one. So the first episode definitely had more of like fight scenes, I guess, kind of involved in it, but showing having the two main kind of like storylines, or I guess three. There was three storylines in this one. So you had the Flash going to the Flash and Vibe, like Team Flash or whatever, going to actually destroy the wave. That's fucking unique, of course. And then we found out who the final Paragon is. So we had Ray, Iris, and Elongated Man go get him. And then there was the third storyline of Diggle and Ollie's going to Purgatory to get Ollie's soul back. Out of the three, and these three are actually, all three of them are actually decently important to the story. It wasn't any terrible side stories or anything like that. So all three of them actually made sense for the actual event of Crisis. I'm still kind of annoyed. I have this very slight feeling that the CW is going to add Supernatural into this crossover, just because they're both on the CW. Sam and Dean are basically they're superhero. If Oliver Queen, a human like this, his skill level, fighting, everything can be considered a superhero, then Sam and Dean should be able to as well. They're just as good, if not better, fighters than just as good of fighters as Oliver Queen. So, and they are dealing with a multiverse in a way in Supernatural as well. So, and then in Supernatural they have they kind of brought Kevin back. He was a prophet for the Lord, basically, in Supernatural. And now that same actor from Supernatural has played the new Paragon in this Crisis. So maybe it'll be another kind of doppelganger type of situation, even though on Supernatural he's dead. But I think they still have a way of kind of fusing these two universes, the CW and everything, together. I think it would be it wouldn't be that hard to explain. So yeah, that's definitely interesting. I really like how they still tied in what happened during Elseworlds, how they showing Barry Allen of Earth 90, considering he was there during Elseworlds. They showed up and they had him there, and then it showed the monitor, the clip where the monitor just makes him kind of through a portal, makes him disappear. I assumed, most people most likely assumed, that he was basically just teleported back to his Earth in that crossover last year. But apparently the Anti-Monitor picked him up and got him to start building this thing since 2018, basically. So it's been up in the works. Like, I liked that's the reason why they needed a Flash to make it work, is to power it for whatever reason. But whatever. And then I like how they still threw back in, so giving Cisco his powers back, like actually having a reason for Vibe to be there. Like, when he said it, he actually made it make sense. Like, why Vibe has to be there is to get the information, and then therefore to teleport to this to the treadmill, so it actually works. I really liked how they had the emotional moments there, as they always do in the Flash, of like, I love you, you're the best to me, blah blah, but I gotta go, I gotta save. I guess at this point it's the multiverse, it's the universe, whatever. Normally it happens all the time in the Flash, where they'll have an emotional moment, Barry goes on, makes a decision to save the world, so they get upset about it, whatever, and they get very emotional, as it always happens there, right? I did like how Earth 90 Flash is like, he's there, his Earth is already gone and destroyed, basically, so he's able to take over for Earth 1 Barry. I like how he went there and stole his speed. I think they've explained that previously on the Flash. It's happened before. Oh, but before that, I like how they did a concept that they've done in previous season, where it was the Flash Time episode, how they're a little standing still. You see the electricity on their body and everything, but everyone else is frozen, so they can communicate and save more time to make a plan to make this work. So that was cool how they had that concept back in. I like how they brought in Black Lightning. As I previously said, I'm never a huge fan. I never really watched it, but again, that kind of makes it full continuity, because it's, for a while it wasn't 100% sure if Black Lightning was going to be part of the Arrowverse or not, but this definitely confirms it. And it's the first time it's come up on his show, so they had to say, on Earth, not just your Earth. They had to explain slightly and say that his Earth is already destroyed. If I watched Black Lightning, I'm sure there was probably a small little glimpse of that maybe in the show, or they're gonna, once this crossover is done, they'll continue on like normal, like every other show always does. So it got him to show some of his powers a little bit, but yeah, it was a little bit just enough to kind of show what he does, basically, is all you really needed. But I thought it was a good introduction there. Yeah, and then having Cisco transport Earth 90 Flash onto the treadmill instead of Earth 1, like, we knew that the line was, said that the Flash had to vanish. He didn't say which Flash, so that was a good, like, yep, there we go. That's kind of a good way of doing it. Therefore, it makes more sense to continue the show, because of course the Flash is going to continue later on after this and everything. We know that it's going to be still going at least for the rest of the season. Something else will happen again, obviously. But we won't find out until after the 14th. What the hell? But whatever. I've stated that already. Yeah, and then having Diggle, Constantine, and I'm drawing a blank on her name, on Ollie's daughter. They're in purgatory, and of course it's on Lian Yu, as she even says, Mandarin for purgatory, and it's makes sense for Oliver because it's his purgatory. It's where he was stuck. It's his like reality and everything. But I like how they have like a reason, kind of like a reason for him being there. They showed another man. I'm guessing this was probably a character from the Constantine TV show before it got canceled. He came in. I think he was in Legends as well. I don't remember. I think so. I'm pretty sure he was on Legends of Tomorrow as well. He's basically one of Constantine's like best friends / lovers, basically. And he apparently became the Spectre. So that's another new character that they're going with and showing and introducing, bringing into the Arrowverse still. So, and it looks like basically this Spectre is going to give up this host body and transfer into Oliver, because he stated he is the only one that can turn the switch or save the light or something like that. So, yeah, that was good. I just a little basic green eyes. They didn't have to do too much. It was just enough to say who the character is. And then, of course, they will explain that a little bit more, probably in the final episode, or in Arrow's episode, because it will probably end. The crisis will be solved and resolved, my guess, in Arrow, and then it'll be the like recap / cleanup in Legends, because Legends of Tomorrow is the last episode, and it's also the first episode of their season coming up. So that's my guess to how it's going to happen. So yeah, we come back, we get transported back to the Wave Rider Earth 1 there again. Lila comes back, Harbinger comes back, like back to the treadmill. I forgot something that was important that I really liked. The showing the Flash on the Barry Allen there running on the treadmill. They clip to a scene. I'm assuming it's from 1990s Flash, the TV show, because it was a clip of him, and I'm guessing his wife or something. I don't know enough context, but I just know that it was, that's the reason why it's this character, why he's there. So they had the clip there from the 90s version of the Flash. So throwing him back in, making it kind of as if even back then, almost like it was canon, even all the way back then. So that's cool. I like how, because they've been playing with him as a character throughout for a while now in the Flash, is another version of Barry Allen. That was a good kind of throwback, cool little tie-in. We get another kind of big. We get the Monitor is like a regular being, like he's not just a god or whatever, because he had a family that apparently was already wiped somehow. They didn't go into a lot of detail, but so in some form of the crisis or something. So that was like a little moment for them, showing that he's not just a godless heathen, or not just a god with no emotions. He actually had a reason for wanting to do this and caring, and a family and everything for himself. So that was interesting. And then we get a full like introduction of Barry Allen and Black Lightning there, Pierce, like a little bit more backstory explaining that his dad used to be a reporter, which, holy crap, there's a lot of reporters in DC Universe, like seriously. But that was, and then Barry Allen explains that the Reverse Flash like framed his father, so he had hope the entire time, basically. So it seems like hope or he had the light, but it seems like positivity is obviously going to be a big importance for this crisis, for the crossover here. So yeah, so everyone gets back on deck. They're trying to figure out the plan. Barry gets reunited, I guess, with Iris. Everything turned out fine for her. Everything turned out fine for him, of course, you know. And you know, they're trying to figure out where Lila went, and literally like a second later, they find out she teleports. She comes appearing right as they're trying to find her. So there's obviously a reason behind it. Barry figures this out like instantly. Like, of course, she's here right as they're trying to find her, and like takes out Diggle like instantly. Kind of does it like Black Widow style with the legs around the head, and she kind of tosses him, which is kind of funny. But it's that's the type of fight moves that they do in comic books, so kind of makes sense. So we know that she's technically being like the answer monitor right now. It's him controlling her basically, which was kind of cool. And then so we find out the true purpose of Tom Cavanaugh. I know his real name. Can't think of his fake name, his character's name, but he goes and saves all of the Paragons, all 7 of the Paragons, sends them to a place that we haven't seen since season 1 of Legends, which is an area that's outside time and space. So that's the area that the Captain Cold died. That's where he died in the end of the first season of Legends. And they're trying to, so the anti-monitor is going, he sends his wave to send out, and we thought it was saved, but of course not, you know, it's not fully done, right? So the anti-monitor hasn't been defeated yet, but all the other characters are still on the bridge, and they're gonna do whatever, but obviously nothing is gonna be able to stop it, because the anti-monitor wave goes and destroys Earth 1, so now all of multiverse, apparently, at this point, is destroyed. But we know that the 7 important characters are outside of time and space. Therefore, they're the only ones that can actually, they're the last living beings on all existence, apparently, basically. They're trying to figure, okay, what do we do now? Like, what's going on? And Superman starts to kind of fall to his knees and like falls apart. Like, no one knows why. No one's like, everyone's like freaking out, like what the hell's going on? And he disappears and burns up. But of course it's Lex. Lex is somehow like figured out that this was going to happen. He was reading the book the entire time. He had it, the Book of Destiny. So now it's the 6 Paragons and Lex Luthor. Like, of course Lex Luthor has found a way to survive the end of all of humanity, like all of everything. But yeah. One thing I forgot. We had the standoff between Supergirl and Batwoman. Like, Kara's still trying to wrap her head around the fact that her Earth has been destroyed, so she's trying to find a way of bringing it back, and she's trying to get the Book of Destiny to save it, to use it, but like Batwoman, she knows that that's gonna make everything worse. So they have a full standoff, and it's actually like pretty close, because pretty close to something happening, because we as the audience know that she has kryptonite taken from Batman of Earth, what was it, 99 or something like that. So it could have actually turned into a fight, but like, knowing how the CW is and how Kara is, she just backed away, and she realized that she was kind of being a little nuts, that there's going to be a different way, a better way. so that like, and then you see when Kara walks away, you see the relief on Batwoman's face. Just okay, like she didn't. It may not have been the best thing to try to get that done, but yeah. And then going back to where I was, we now only know that the Anti-Monitor is still around. The Monitor has been defeated, and we're outside of time and space. Yeah, what is going on? But one thing that was a little annoying, and I'm still kind of curious about, is the fact that they didn't even mention Wally. Like, he's supposed to be like Iris's brother, and she doesn't even say anything about it. So Barry's like stepbrother, like there's not even a mention of him. He's another speedster. He'd be useful to help fight off whatever's going on. Maybe not be one of the Paragons or anything, but he'd be part of the other team at least. So it's kind of weird that they don't even mention it via like in the show. Like, I know us as audience know that the actor didn't want to really be a part of this stuff really anymore, but they didn't even like have a throw off kind of explanation, kind of like what Sarah did in the previous episode of saying that she promised the Legends that they wouldn't be part of the any more crossovers, even though we could still get like half the team. But so at least they kind of explained it with the Legends. Why even Iris didn't say anything about Wally not being there? They should have thrown something in. I think that's definitely the one kind of like negative point about it that still is kind of pretty weird to me, but oh well, it works. So those are my comments, questions, reactions to Crisis Episode 3. What did you guys think about it? Was it as good, better, or worse than the previous episodes? And what are your theories on what's going to happen for the final 2? Let me know in the comments below or on Twitter, and have yourself a fun night.